as you've been seeing on the news, and maybe if you've been scrolling on your feeds, that it looks like we might have a toy shortage. We might have a computer shortage as far as the holidays go this year. I wanted to bring in retail expert Trae Bodge here to kind of set this all straight. Trae, is this true? Is this just hype as far as trying to get us to buy early, or is there really going to be an issue this holiday season?
Well, I do think it's true, but I also think there's probably a little bit of that hype going on as well. Obviously, retailers every year try to get us to shop early. So I'm seeing a little bit of that, but I think it's actually real in terms of that we might see some stock issues. We might see some shipping delays. I would expect for consumers that things are going to really heat up as the holiday shopping season comes in earnest, right? So my advice really, especially for toys and computers, things like that, I would maybe look at shopping early if you can, and then maybe wait on those more general things. Like, if you want to give someone a candle or a potted plant or things like that, I think you'll be okay. But very specific items, I would start looking now.
So we all know Santa does his shopping early. Santa has his elves. So those gifts will be taken care of. But as far as like the parents, we want to make sure that there are certain, toys and electronics that you want to get them now. As far as what you're seeing, normally we have Black Friday deals and deals coming out in the beginning of November. Are we going to start seeing those things early, especially since these things in demand may not be there mid-November?
Yes. And so I'm already seeing this. Next week is going to be interesting. Amazon's offering a bunch of deals. Target's doing another 2-day deal days sale. And so we are seeing that happening already. And so I think that consumers who are looking for very specific items, like we mentioned, that may be a good opportunity to save on those items as well. I do expect Black Friday and Cyber Monday still to happen. But what is going to be on sale is anybody's guess, because if certain items aren't arriving on time, maybe they won't be on sale like they normally would be.
Now, as far as, let's just talk a little bit about electronics, TVs, computers. A lot of people spending more time, especially the last 18, 19 months at home, buying TVs here. Everyone needed a computer, beforehand. Is this the delay that we're seeing from everybody kind of mass buying last year and early part of this year?
So I think that's happening. And then there's also this chip shortage. And so a lot of electronic items need these chips that companies can't get anymore. And this is happening across the board in terms of shortages. So brands and retailers are trying to get certain things from overseas and they just cannot. And so what we're seeing are larger retailers like Walmart, Target, Home Depot. They're hiring their own shipping freighters to get their goods across the waters to the US. And so if you're seeing that, that is a really big deal. And what that means is that smaller businesses are really going to be struggling as well. So it's kind of all over the place. And so I am concerned about a number of things at the moment. So I do think that, I know it seems early, consumers are probably rolling their eyes at me right now as I'm talking about get your holiday shopping done early, but I really think it's going to be a problem.
Now, as far as times for shipping, so let's just say, you are buying something online, are you seeing longer ship times as far as like you buy something and it's going to take a little bit longer to arrive here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing shipping delays already. And so my guess is that when holiday shopping really heats up in November, that's going to put so much pressure on the shipping companies, FedEx, UPS, USPS. And of course, they know to prepare for this, but then we're also seeing an employment shortage as well. So shipping services and other services are having problems finding enough people. What is that going to mean when shipping really heats up in November? You can only imagine.
you can only imagine that part. Now, as far as deals, any sites that we should go to right now to try to, scour the deal? I know you mentioned, Target having a deal right there, and Amazon as well too. If we're looking into next week and maybe, trying to get a little shopping done early before Halloween, any places that we should make sure to look?
Yeah, I mean, I do think Target and Amazon. I would look at Walmart. Those are kind of your trifecta where you can always find good products, good deals. And then I would also just get in the habit of using shopping tools if you don't do so already. Find a deal site that you like and use it regularly. Slickdeals.net, which is a company that I work with, they have a feature that I really like, especially for this, which is their deal alert. And so if there are specific items that you're looking for, you can set an alert on Slick Deals. They will notify you when that item goes goes on sale. So that's a really good way to be proactive in looking for savings. And then just make sure that you're using at least one browser extension. Slick Deals has one. Then there's Coupon Cabin, Rakuten, Honey. I mean, name it. A lot of the great coupon sites have the browser extension. And what that does is that once you install it in your computer, it will alert you to available savings as you shop. So again, another good way to proactively look for savings as you're shopping online right now.
And then, final thing I want to touch upon, especially in the Chicagoland area, the retail landscape has changed so much from, some of our big box stores that we are accustomed to seeing to some of our neighborhood shops who definitely had a struggle last holiday season. Is it that important, that we make sure that we go, buy our gifts from them, or at least, suggest that, some of the gifts come from local retailers as well too? And how do you think all the shortages are going to affect them this season?
Yeah, so this is a great question and a very important one to consider when you're planning your shopping. I am a huge proponent of supporting small businesses, especially during the pandemic where so many small businesses didn't make it through. So the small businesses that made it through possibly could be clinging on by a thread. And so please patronize your local shops. They will have beautiful, unique items that you can buy for your holiday gifts. Now, will they be able to get everything in on time that they're hoping to? I don't know, but I'm sure that they have merchandise there that they'll be being very creative with, maybe creating gift sets and gift boxes and all that good stuff that a local business can really only do. Your larger stores, some of them are closing down. You may have noticed that, your regular department store is not open anymore. It's very likely that they're still available online. So you can still continue to shop with them, but just in a different way.
Oh, exactly. I mean, one of the main ones that hits is that, Macy's at Water Tower was always a big stop on Black Friday, and that Macy's is no longer that anchor store right there. And it's such a weird, sight to see because you're so used to seeing it, growing up and making it part of your shopping habit. Final thing here I wanted to touch upon, this year has been a struggle for so many people, especially with a lot of the government programs, people who are out of work, not being able to get the money that they need. If somebody can't afford we don't want to go into debt trying to make the holidays happen the way they did in 2019, 2018. Some ideas as far as experiences or things that other people can give as far as making this, wonderful holiday, but without trying to get into too much debt, trying to get all those perfect gifts.
Sure. So that's such an important consideration is your budget, your ability to spend. And so I would suggest before you get going on your holiday shopping, take a look at your budget and see what room you have there. Maybe you've been saving all along for the holidays and you have a little pot that you can shop from. However, maybe if you don't, you might want to think about potentially cutting back on a couple of little luxuries. Like for instance, if you're getting weekly manicures or a monthly car wash, things like that can generate some quick money that you can then use for holiday shopping. But in general, like you said, Rudy, you don't want people carrying debt into the new year. So look at how much money you have to spend, try to stay within that budget. And if that means that you can't buy a gift for everyone in your family, maybe suggest that you do a white elephant or draw names or only buy for the kids. It is perfectly okay to suggest things like that. If you're buying for everyone in your workplace, make that similar suggestion because it's likely that there are other people who are in a similar position to yours. And then, of course, like you said, experiences, you could plan something fun like a potluck outside, obviously, given the pandemic, trying to be creative there so you're not spending a lot of money on gifts. I think a lot of us get caught up in this keeping up with the Joneses, and that's kind of the last thing that I'll leave you with. If you're buying for someone who usually is very generous to you, it doesn't mean that you have to reciprocate at that same level. If someone spends $200 on you, you don't have to spend $200 on them. Only do what you can so you're not bringing debt into 2022.
Such great advice. Always so wonderful to talk to you. Trae.com and Trae on social media is where you go ahead and find her. You're the best. And I want to touch base with you again in November and kind of see where we're at deal wise.
Yes, please do. It's always great to talk to you, Rudy.
Thank you.